Given that you have devoted more than 40 years of your life to teaching people about craftsmanship, it should come as no surprise that Norm Abram is a national asset to everyone who aspires to construct something by hand. Woodworking has become a common family pastime nationwide because to Norm's two popular shows, This Old House and the new Yankee Workshop, Norm served as generations go-to mentor for developing talent, patience, and substance, whether it was through his soothing voice or his straightforward, sensible attire. However, Norm quietly left the spotlight in 2022, shocking many of his followers, and causing them to wonder why he did so, and how it has affected him ever since. The narrative of Norm Abrams starts in the small Rhode Island village of Woonsocket, in early October of the late 1940s. And here was Norm, the lad working in the garage with his father, while other children were out playing sports. He gained woodworking skills there, by watching his father transform common planks into useful tools. Norm was already building on his own by the time he was around 9 years old. A little wooden automobile was one of their earliest joint creations. For both father and son, this small initiative held great significance, and served as a precursor to the young boy's future endeavors. Norm's father was teaching him more than just construction techniques. Additionally, he was educating him to be patient, meticulous, and detail-oriented. As Norm grew older, it became evident that his real interest was woodworking. However, his father also desired that he receive an education. Norm attended the University of Massachusetts Amherst, after graduating from high school in Milford, Massachusetts, where he initially started studying engineering. Later, he would switch to business. Given what he would eventually devote his full-time attention to, this turned out to be the appropriate choice for him. But then a terrible incident happened that almost broke Norm. He lost his cherished father, who had supported him throughout his life. It made sense that Norm would be affected by this loss for the longest time. This time of loss was made worse by the close relationship between father and son, their common passion of working with wood, and the numerous projects they completed together. Norm entered the construction industry right away after graduating from college. He quickly demonstrated his abilities after landing a position at a major New England construction company. He was elevated to the position of site supervisor in a matter of years. Even though his business career was successful, Norm still desired more. He desired greater ownership, creativity, and control over the work he enjoyed. He thus took a chance and launched his own general contracting company, Integrated Structures, in the middle of the 1970s, with little more than guts and an idea. This was a dangerous endeavor that could go wrong at any time. However, Norm was using what he had learned from his father to develop. He quickly established a solid reputation for producing high-quality work. Norm had no idea that this was only the beginning. No one could have predicted all that lay ahead for him. Most people now know Norm from the new Yankee Workshop, although he had never worked in television before. He was expanding his building company when an unforeseen circumstance occurred. Russell Morash, a television producer, was renovating his own house in the late 1970s. He was so delighted with Norm's work that he took note and hired Norm's company for the task. It was more than just the caliber of the job, though. What stood out was Norm's inherent talent, calm demeanor, and straightforward speech. Russell asked Norm to be on a brand new PBS program called This Old House, which was about renovating and house repairs. Bob Vila was the show's host at the time. Something significant started when Norm decided to assist in the remodeling of an old Victorian home. The success of Norm's television career began with that initial assignment. Beginning in the late 1970s, this historic mansion swiftly gained popularity across the nation. People all throughout the world were inspired by the show's emphasis on practical, hands-on work and its promotion of historic home restoration. Norm's role as a carpenter evolved. He went on to teach. His soothing tone and detailed instructions made a difficult task seem doable. He assisted viewers in comprehending each task's why, as well as its how. His approach inspired others to attempt their own endeavors without breaking the bank. Although the labor remained challenging, spectators now had an inspiration, someone who gave them hope that they too could succeed. Norm's job expanded, even though he probably didn't anticipate remaining in this ancient house for so long. He worked on a wide range of projects, observed how trends evolved over time, and never stopped encouraging others to get their tools and begin construction. Norm was unique in more ways than one. He had a genuine passion for the craft. His passion for woodworking was evident in every nail he painted and every lesson he imparted. Norm continued to study and develop while he was living in this old house. He developed into a true master of his trade over time. As woodworking trends changed, He discovered how to combine traditional and modern techniques to make unique works. This old house demonstrated how Norm's carpentry abilities developed as a result of home remodeling. But for him, a fresh door was about to open. Norm was given the opportunity to start something of his own in the late 1980s. The new Yankee Workshop started at that point. It was a spin-off from this ancient house, and it allowed Norm to devote himself entirely to woodworking, which is his actual passion. From straightforward desks and chairs to intricate creations that could only be constructed by highly qualified professionals like Norm, every episode of the new Yankee Workshop showcased a new project. Fans of woodworking found a special home in the show, which ran for over 20 seasons. Norm was more than just a furniture maker. He also constructed outside structures like gazebos, yachts, and barns. In addition to learning how to construct, viewers also gained knowledge about furniture history. Norm occasionally went to historical sites and museums to demonstrate how traditional styles were created in the past. However, Norm himself was the true star of the show. He consistently prioritized safety, cautioned viewers, and simplified difficult activities. People around the nation were moved by his serene demeanor, unambiguous directions, and profound regard for the trade. Although the store appeared to be in Norm's backyard, Russell Moresh, the show's producer, actually owned it. The store was built up with care. The drill press and backbench were mounted on one wall. The miter bench, storage, saws, a TV, and even a tiny computer were all on another wall. There were designated spaces for completing tasks, storing tools, and sanding. There was a purpose for every area of the store. Boston's WGBH declared in the fall of 2009 that the new Yankee Workshop will not be producing any further episodes. Norm expressed his gratitude, stating that they had done a fantastic job and that he was pleased of all that they had achieved. He claimed that sponsors had always supported the show and that he had the option to keep going, but he decided to end it. He wanted to spend more time with his family because he felt like he had accomplished what he had set out to do. Fans were still able to watch the show online and even obtain project plans for many years. However, the contract that permitted the show to be streamed expired in early 2023. In order to ensure that the legacy continued, the episodes were removed from the This Old House platform. Old episodes of the show started to appear on its YouTube channel. Russell Moresh broke the news in a video and expressed his excitement that a new generation may now watch the new Yankee Workshop at any time online. The new Yankee Workshop in this ancient mansion helped make Norm a household name. He was a hit on TV because of his strong teaching methods and calm, amiable demeanor. He was even asked to make appearances on well-known programs, including Entertainment Tonight, Good Morning America, and The Late Show with David Letterman. Fans experienced a mixture of heartfelt admiration and regret as the show came to an end. Even though Norm stopped watching TV, he continued to work with wood. He made a lasting impression with his passion for the trade, his instructional methods, and his gentle nature. A whole generation was motivated by him to pick up tools, do hand construction, and take joy in each project. Cut and nail. Even after Norm Abram left the new Yankee Workshop, he remains somewhat visible. He continues to occasionally show up on this historic home to share his expertise. He now devotes more of his time to personal endeavors. One of his greatest ambitions was to purchase and renovate an ancient home close to the Rhode Island coast so he could use his carpentry abilities and indulge his love of the sea. Many individuals were moved by Norm's serene on-screen persona. Additionally, his skills were shared online, in books and in periodicals, despite the fact that he did not produce any major best-selling publications. Norm assisted in writing pieces for This Old House's magazine, as a regular, providing viewers with project instructions, in addition to what they saw on television. Therefore, anyone might still benefit from Norm's years of experience, even if they didn't watch the show. Fans can still find useful advice and suggestions on the show's website, which now hosts all of the magazine's content after it ceased printing. Plans, unique methods, and thoughts about the art of building were probably included in Norm's works, because he is a very talented and considerate carpenter. He co-wrote a number of books on do-it-yourself projects and carpentry throughout the years. These revealed Norm's other side, one that was equally as perceptive and motivational as what audiences witnessed on TV. Norm's new house, in which he detailed the process of creating his own home, was one of his most intimate works. It was more than a manual. It gave readers a glimpse of how a master carpenter works when no one is looking, and it was full with personal lessons and decisions. It demonstrated his meticulous preparation and the amount of consideration he gave to each board and beam. Then came Measure Twice, Cut Once, another book. This one was not merely a tool-use lesson. It thought the same as Norm did. He gave advice on how to plan, steer clear of typical blunders, and approach every project no matter how minor with attention. Norm also contributed to the creation of a carpentry book for kids and families, since he understood the value of early learning. For novices, this book made woodworking safe, simple, and enjoyable. Making stuff wasn't the only thing involved. Families and classrooms came together to experience the delight of hand building. Just a handful of Norm's highlights are those. Numerous more works, frequently co-authored with other renowned woodworkers, bear his name. He and Tom Silva co-wrote the new Yankee Workshop book early on, which perfectly captured the essence of the television program. Classics from the new Yankee Workshop were next, and then Mostly Shaker, a book that praised classic, beautiful designs, came next. He later used the new Yankee Workshop to work on outside projects, applying his design to patios, gardens, and yard furniture. As the years went by, Norm continued to move forward. His own publications included several versions of Measure Twice, Cut Once, which is still a favorite among both novice and expert builders. Even at his advanced age, Norm has the enthusiasm he felt as a young child assisting his father in the garage. Even though he's older, he's not finished. Norm continues to seek out new challenges, whether they include educating others or attempting new endeavors. Carpentry was more than simply a job to him. There was more to it. Furthermore, he is not yet prepared to hang up his tools. Regarding his future plans, Norm once expressed his desire to become a boat builder. That only goes to demonstrate how much he still enjoys learning and developing. Norm was unique in more ways than one. It was his ability to evoke a sense of community. He made everyone feel like they could do woodworking. His presentations were successful for a long time because of this. Norm has always been passionate about more than simply woodworking, despite his widespread national fame thanks to television. Norm is a loving father and spouse. Norm continues to develop his creative side and generate new ideas in his Rhode Island home with his spouse, Elise Howenstein. Norm was married to Laura Kahn prior to his marriage to Elise. Around the middle of the 1990s, their marriage came to an end. Both of them went on with their lives. However, the cause of their split has never been revealed to the public. Beyond woodworking, Norm has a wide range of hobbies. He has also taken pleasure in creating music over the years. He uses music as a means of expressing his creativity and experimenting with new pastimes. He plays the guitar, banjo, and mandolin. Norm has undoubtedly had a significant influence on the carpentry industry. His passion for woodworking and his commitment to producing high-quality work serve as an inspiration to the upcoming generation of makers and builders. Norm hasn't been on this old house much lately, which has some fans worried. There have been speculations that Norm may be battling cancer, because neither his family nor the show's creators have provided a definitive response. We can only hope that Norm continues to encourage people to be imaginative and diligent. Even while we are unaware of the reality, Norm contributes to his community as well. He is on the board of trustees at the Massachusetts Museum, Old Sturbridge Village, which is dedicated to early American life. He delivered a commencement address at Boston's North Bennett Street School, which specializes in teaching skilled crafts and trades, at the beginning of the new millennium. Additionally, Norm has backed initiatives that teach youth building skills, such as the Generation Next apprenticeship program. Over the years, Norm has won numerous accolades and amassed a sizable following on social media. For his efforts and commitment, he has received numerous significant accolades. In addition to the iSmart Distinguished Service Award, Norm has received over 10 more honors. The American Academy presented him with this award in recognition of his commitment to safety on television. In 2009, the year the new Yankee Workshop came to an end, he was given it. As a viewer of the show, you may recall Norm's constant reminders to use safety eyewear when using tools. In every episode, he placed a strong emphasis on safety. Norm was honored with the renowned Ken Burns Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018. Filmmaker Ken Burns presented this award in Old Sturbridge Village to recognize individuals who have significantly influenced the arts. Norm earned it by working on historical preservation projects. His work on this old house and the new Yankee Workshop are excellent illustrations of that. He also won the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Lifetime Achievement Award in that same year. The same organization that bestows the Emmy Awards also bestows one of television's top distinctions. In addition to being a gifted carpenter and host, this prize honored Norm as a television icon who over the years delighted and educated millions of viewers. There are other successful members of Norm's family. Elise, his wife, is a successful and inspirational woman as well. Many women in the design industry now look up to her. Elise has demonstrated that women can be just as successful in a field where males have always held the lead. There is more to Norm Abrams's career than just his tale as a furniture builder and TV personality. It tells the tale of a person who transformed a childhood interest into a lifelong quest to educate, uplift, and inspire others. Norm never lost sight of what was truly important: patience, craftsmanship, and heart, from learning with his father in a small garage to becoming a trusted voice in millions of households. By means of his composed leadership, reflective remarks, and profound regard for the implements he handled, Norm and his spouse Elise gave others hope that they, too, might construct something significant. He taught more than simply woodworking. They emphasized attention to detail, hard work, and the satisfaction that comes from creating something by hand. Norm's legacy endures, even though he now leads a more sedate life away from the limelight. His work continues to inspire, educate, and remind us that even modest beginnings can lead to big things, whether it is through his books, old episodes, or unfinished projects. Norm Abram wasn't simply another reality TV personality who created content purely for the sake of getting views. He was the man who devoted his life to fostering family customs. The story didn't end there. After decades of Norm's steadfast teachings, people have grown more self-assured and communities have expanded. Since it is now evident that Norm was never interested in celebrity, it is not surprising that many people consider him a national treasure.